The most awaited bout between two of the best fighters, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, is finally over, and here are the pros' reactions.
What's up, Netflix? It's your boy Terence Crawford. Thanks to all my supporters. I told y'all I was gonna win. I know a lot of them fans is going home crying, like I said. But shout out to all the fans that came to support.
Guys, we gotta move.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. You know, Canelo is, you know, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos. You know, there's no more. So you know, when you look around, you say, "I'm the Canelo." You know, I'm the face of boxing now. And I'm the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, like I always been.
113 for the winner by unanimous decision, the Fighting Pride of Omaha.
Yeah. 3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. You look spectacular.
Spectacular. Spectacular for
Thanks,
round
Floyd. You know, always.
Hey, you see me wink at you?
That's it.
I pulled one of your moves.
I think the camera.
I see you, champ.
Upset of a lifetime? Nah, it wasn't an upset. The people that really know boxing knew that it was a good fight. It depended on what kind of fight that Bud fought. He fought the fight that he needed to fight to win.
Is that how you expect it to go?
You want to see a rematch, Devin, or you think it was pretty clean? Honestly, I know it's a lot of money in the rematch, but I want Bud to retire. He accomplished everything in boxing already. He made a lot of money. He should just go spend time with his family and have some fun.
Terence Crawford just proved me wrong, proved a lot of people wrong, and cements himself as one of the all-time greats, S-tier, top tier. Gets to, as my man Sam Gordon just texted me from San Francisco Chronicle, gets to sit at any table. And coming into this fight, I had Crawford #1 pound for pound back in 2017. I always acknowledged him as the best counterpuncher in the game, one of the great counterpunchers. But I didn't see him as Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. I didn't see him as that. I saw him as the tier of greats right below that. Oscar, Shane, Mike McCallum, guys like that. And it turns out, no. He's with the best of the best.
Y'all was here?
Yeah.
It was a
good fight. I'm honored to be here.
You expected that?
I'm happy to be here, bro. It was a great fight.
Is there a need for a rematch though? Canelo came on a little bit late, but
that's different. They took us long time to prepare for this great fight.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy, let them have a rest, and we'll see what's next.
Beautiful performance from Terence Crawford.
Beautiful performance, tremendous night for boxing.
Yeah.
And he had a game plan, he performed, and he deserves all the recognition.
Yeah. What would you like to see next from him?
To have a nice vacation and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Let him rest. He deserves all the time.
Yeah.
To really enjoy what he has just accomplished.
You know, I wanted to see a good fight, man, and I think that's what the world saw, and I would love to see another one.
So you want to see them run it back?
Yeah, that or Boots.
Yeah, Boots Ennis. Where does this put Crawford in the all-time greatest, man?
He definitely cracked the top 10, and he's closer to top 5. But I think he's got some more work to do. That was incredible.
Yeah. What about Canelo, man? Where's he at?
Still amazing. Still one of the greatest fighters of our time, man. A lot of respect for both these guys to get in there and give the fans what they wanted to see, man, which was a great fight.
Science of the sport. This guy adapts. I knew it.
How did you know he was going to win? Why?
He's got too much ammunition. You know, southpaw, orthodox, on the back foot. That's what changes good from great is knowing how to adapt. You know, back foot, front foot, that's the difference.
Offered to retire, you want to continue?
You guys push that back a little bit.
Hey, he's doing well. It's been good. Hey, what a performance.
Canelo came out, as he always does, starts well, lots of feints. I thought Canelo, was feigning more and had better positioning early. But once Crawford, here's where the fight really swung to Crawford. It was a competitive first 3 rounds, nip and tuck. Crawford a little more accurate, but in the start of the 4th round, Crawford opened up and really had a dominant first minute. And Canelo was persistent in the last 2 minutes, and then that started to be a little bit of a pattern, and I wondered if Crawford would get jobbed on the scorecards, because then he started making the habit of starting the first minute beautifully. He did that in the 4th, either the 6th or the 7th, definitely the 7th. He did it in the 7th. I think he did it in the 4th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. And then he would take his foot off the gas, and I'm like, okay, now you're giving a reason for the judges to find a way to rob you for the bigger name fighter in Canelo. But then in 10, 11, I mean, the fight was really over in the 11th. He stood in the phone booth with Canelo, took some of those looping, old school Triple G type looping right hands over the top, those anchor shots, and he ate them no problem.
Like the Sugar Ray Leonard and everything. He should be in another stratosphere with what he's accomplished here tonight. So his legacy just grows.
Were you surprised it was so one-sided?
No. Well, you got 2 champions. And 2 different styles. And obviously, Crawford was a little quicker.
Hell of a jump, man. I'm happy for him. Super excited for him, man.
Yeah.
Shit was a hell of a night for us. The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good. I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round. So honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that. Yeah. 3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it could never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness. I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
I want to apologize on behalf of Terence Crawford. He just messed up your bag, man.
I know, bro.
He messed up your bag. What's up?
You say that, though. You say that, but listen, God's got a greater plan, innit? God's got a greater plan, and it'd even be an honour to share the ring with him.
Do you think Crawford will stay at the weight, or should stay at the weight?
I reckon he will stay it, because he looked good at it, he looked strong at it.
Did he seem hurt in there at all?
Nah, not at all, man. He was eating them punches, bro. I was shocked, but he's a GOAT.
Easy work for Crawford. Easy work. Crawford is special, and he did it. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Canelo really was trying, couldn't get to him. He looked a bit frustrated, but it was a great fight all around. Both guys looked good.
Crawford an all-time great, Lennox.
Crawford was great.
Easy work. He almost got the 11-round stoppage.
Yeah.
I told y'all he is the monster.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Canelo's a good fighter, man.
Yeah.
But he made the fight look normal, guys.
Yeah.
He made it look normal. Canelo left out of face with his cherry red face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Bud didn't have a mark on him. There's nobody that's ever done what Bud just done like to Canelo. Alvarez. Come on, man.
He stepped a little more to Canelo than Floyd, right?
Nobody's ever hit Canelo like that before, ever.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford.
Prior to the face-off, the boxing world was torn between the two fighters, with most of the pros claiming that choosing between the two was almost impossible. Each contender had their own strengths, Terence being the boxer with the high IQ and Canelo being the fighter with the bigger size. Prior to the bout, Paulie Malignaggi had claimed that the only reason the matchup had been gaining as much attention as it had was due to the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. According to Paulie, the only reason Canelo had been able to remain a champion was because he had been dodging the top contenders in his own weight class. For Paulie, his vote had been in favor of Crawford all along.
It's interesting because I think that the only dynamic that makes this fight competitive, in my opinion, is the difference in weight class. I think Canelo has been, for a while, a diminishing fighter. Call it age, call it whatever other things you want to call it. But I just think that, the only reason he's even still around at this level is because he's avoided his top contenders in his weight class, so he's been able to still remain champion at that weight class. And now, being champion at that weight class, it has sort of brought up this big opportunity to fight a smaller, excellent world champion in Terence Crawford. So I think when it comes to the levels of boxing, just straight from boxing perspective, I think Crawford is head and shoulders above Canelo. But, they do make weight classes for a reason. Canelo is still very strong. He's a good body puncher, and he's a bigger guy naturally. So that does bring a bit of a risk to the table. I think Crawford can win the fight.
Moreover, Bernie the boxer came forward with his support for Crawford before the fight, reminiscing on the time the boxer had called Bernie after his bout with Spence, claiming that he would be able to take down Canelo. At that time, Bernie had supported him 100%, believing in the boxer's prowess and the fact that as long as Terence had put the work in, he would be able to take anyone down.
I'm just intrigued by whatever Crawford does in the ring, so whenever he fights, it's a treat. Shortly after the Spence fight, he called me, maybe about a week after the Spence fight, and said I can beat him. I said, who? He said, Canelo. He said, I done dreamt it, I done thought about it, I can beat that guy. I said, well, I'm with you, bud. And that was maybe a week after the Spence fight, and now we're here. So, Crawford, if, he believes he can beat anybody, and he can find a way. So he didn't map it out in his mind. He didn't put it in, and now he didn't put the work in. And
September 13th, we're going to prove it.
Furthermore, Antonio Tarver gave his predictions about the fight prior to it, claiming that there were specific ways the boxers could win. For Canelo, Antonio claimed the most important aspect would be being able to attack on his opponent's body in the early rounds, rendering him weak. According to Antonio, Canelo's win was based on how much he would be able to attack Crawford, while for Crawford, it depended on how he defended himself.
Bro, and I think his mental approach to this fight and his talent and skill set is the difference, not the weight. I think he's going to be able to handle the weight more than people expect him to. But if he can't handle that weight, that's going to be his demise. I think if Canelo is successful to the body early, that spells trouble for Crawford late. And that's the commitment Canelo's going to have to make if he want to win this fight. He's going to have to slow Crawford down. He's going to have to, take some of that conditioning away and make him doubt himself in this fight. You feel me? That's how Canelo wins. Crawford win, I believe, by just being able to avoid the body shots, blocking it with your arms or something, but protect your ribs, bro, because we know that's a long, lingering effect body shots are. You can do some body work for the first 2-3 rounds. It's going to show up rounds 7 and 8.
Additionally, Gabe Rosado gave his 2 cents before the fight occurred, claiming that the match depended on who used their IQ the best, since the power difference would not play a big role. For Gabe, the most important aspect going into the fight was the fact that Canelo had prior experience before stepping into the ring with Terence, while his opponent was stepping into uncharted territory, giving him an upper hand.
I think there's nothing that Crawford's bringing to the table that Canelo hasn't seen. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, I think it's going to be different for Crawford because Crawford hasn't faced a fighter of that punching power. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. You know what I mean? It's different. You got to remember, Canelo started at 147. Right. So he's, he knows that style. And then, he's developed into all the way up to light heavy. So I think the one that's really going to have to make adjustments is going to be Terence rather than Canelo.
Moreover, Lennox Lewis had claimed that Terence Crawford was the kung fu fighter of the boxing world, knowing exactly how to use his punches and match the style of his opponents. According to Lennox, Canelo was more used to the type of fighters who try to hide from their opponents in the ring, but Crawford was not the type of fighter who hides. He took the challenge head-on, making sure his opponent was hit.
Crawford's an amazing fighter. I call him kung fu because he fights on different styles. He's, hard to hit and he hits hard. And he's boxing a guy that, he has to jump up in weight like 3 categories. And this man is like a body snatcher. He comes and he wears you down. So it's a great fight. He's boxed, I'm talking Canelo's boxed a lot of guys that move around. And, he's used to that type of boxing. And he's used to guys that, try and hide. But this Crawford ain't gonna hide from him. Crawford is looking to, put some punches on him and keep him at a distance. That's what I would do if I was Crawford. And then take his opportunity. I mean, I would say Canelo is not easy to hit, but can be hit.
Furthermore, Canelo Alvarez's previous opponent and foe, Austin Trout, had his own weigh-ins regarding the match before it occurred. According to Austin, Crawford is the type of fighter who can manhandle even the heaviest of fighters, having a style that can cause problems for the best of fighters, going against Terence "Bud" Crawford. While Canelo too is a great fighter based on Austin's views, he believed that it all boiled down to whether Crawford would be able to adjust to it all.
I think Crawford is stronger than we are giving him credit for. Remember, that man is a wrestler, and I have seen him manhandle, heavyweight wrestlers before. So I do. I think the styles make fights. Crawford has a style to give Canelo problems. Canelo was just an amazing fighter all around, has, great experience fighting all kinds of different fighters and success in all the different styles. I think he will make his adjustments.
Similarly, Aid Oladipo had given his views about the fight prior to the match and was unable to pick one possible winner out of the 2 contenders. According to Aid, Canelo had a much bigger advantage considering he not only had vast experience in fighting against boxers in the same weight division, but he had also fought against a man even bigger than him. That, according to Aid, put Canelo in a higher position before the fight.
Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168-pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobbled since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect, because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, it's in Vegas. It's in Vegas. If you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy.
Moreover, Canelo Alvarez himself had shared what he thought would go down in the ring before the match. According to the Mexican legend, he would give his all in the ring, making sure his experience and talent shine through. He even claimed that till now, he had accomplished everything he had wanted to out of his career, saying that after the fight with Crawford, he would give his career almost 2 more years maximum.
How many more years do you think you'll box?
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
and I
nothing
did everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
Lastly, what can people expect from the fight you have against Terence Crawford on September 13th?
You know, we are both of the best, and from my side, I'm gonna put my whole talent, my experience, everything there to win the fight, obviously, and just expect the best from my side.
Additionally, Manny Robles also gave his predictions about the fight, claiming that this fight would definitely be written down in history as 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters went against each other in the ring. Manny believed that Canelo had more chances of dominating his opponent in the ring, owing to the fact that he was a natural fighter in his division, while Crawford would try to defend himself.
Crawford is an incredible fighter. I don't take anything away from him. He's just an incredible, unbelievable fighter. To me, he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. But he's fighting Canelo, and the natural super middleweight. Canelo's an incredible fighter himself. Maybe he's lost a beat or two, but he is still the bigger guy, the bigger of the two. And there's weight classes for a reason. I believe it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be. I believe Canelo's going to go out there and put on pressure and try to dictate the tempo and dictate the fight. And I believe Crawford's going to sit back and try to counter Canelo. That's how I visualize the fight. That's how I see it, but nonetheless, I believe it's going to be a great fight.
In addition to that, Oscar De La Hoya gave his opinions on the match before the fighters went face-to-face in the ring, claiming that Canelo needed to take the chance to hit Crawford down in the early rounds. Otherwise, Crawford would be a danger looming close to the Mexican fighter. For De La Hoya, the main thing for Crawford was to make sure everything was perfect and aligns all his hits, while Canelo had just to defend himself against the punches.
Crawford is coming up 2 weight classes, and he's coming off a year's layoff. So that's a huge advantage for Canelo. If Canelo forces his will on him, he'll probably be 190 pounds inside the ring on fight night. I give him a great shot in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round to knock out Crawford. If he doesn't do that, then Crawford is going to box his ears off. It might be another Mayweather versus Canelo. Remember when Mayweather was just schooling him and making him look silly? That can happen again this Saturday. So everything has to be perfect for Crawford. He has to use his footwork. He has to use his speed, his combinations, his ring IQ. He has to stay disciplined. And Canelo, all he has to do is take Crawford's punches. But he cannot be comfortable inside the ring, because if Canelo's comfortable, 12 rounds will go by fast.
Meanwhile, Danny Garcia had given his own controversial opinion by saying that Crawford tried to do what every other great fighter had aspired to do in their career. That is, move up multiple weight divisions and take the win. For Danny, while Crawford proves to be a great fighter with a burning fire in him to prove himself, Danny believed that Canelo Alvarez would win the fight by a unanimous decision.
Terence Crawford is trying to do what every great has tried to do, is go up in multiple weight classes and win. A lot of people, a few did it, a few didn't, you know what I mean? So that's always one of the hardest things to do, is going up many weight classes to beat a naturally bigger guy. If he can do that, we're talking about he's one of the greats, you know? But for me, I think Canelo will win a unanimous decision.
Moreover, Roy Jones Jr. too had joined the discussion of the match prior to 13th September, claiming that the secret to Terence Crawford taking the win for this fight was the way the boxer would throw the punches and the hits, making sure that they all land in the right way. For Roy, Crawford lasting 12 rounds was a massive feat in and of itself, and he claimed it would be easy for the fighter since Crawford has the skill most don't.
Well, he has to beat him with the X's and O's on the inside playing left and right game. He can't go backwards, but he got to play left and right, but he got to be able to win the X's and O's battle going left and right.
And win the exchanges.
That's what I'm saying. That's the X's and O's. He got to win all the X's and O's battles or he's going to lose the fight.
You're a man that moved multiple weights, winning championships in multiple weights. How difficult was that?
It was very difficult to a degree, but it wasn't so difficult because the skill level was the same. So when you can take your puncher power and your speed and your combination punches, wherever you go, you become a real problem. But Terence is a guy who's taking an IQ everywhere he go. You know what I'm saying? He may not have all those other attributes, but he can't fight left-handed and he can't fight right-handed. That's something that I didn't even have back then. I could, but not as good as he does. So he can comfortably and successfully fight left-handed or right-handed. That says a lot right there.
Interestingly, if there was one person with an unshaken belief in Terence Crawford, it was Shakur Stevenson, who claimed before the fight that beating Canelo Alvarez would be a piece of cake for the boxer. According to Shakur Stevenson, being able to take the win for this fight was not just a legacy boost for the fighter, but it would also prove to the world that the legend should never be underestimated.
Once he beat Canelo, that will be like one of the greatest resumes in boxing ever, just because of the fact that he's going up 2 divisions just to fight this guy, and this guy's bigger than him. And not only did you just crush Errol Spence, but you go out there and just, and the way that he beats Canelo too. If he go out there and just dominate and make it an easy fight, honestly, I think that that's gonna be like one of the best resumes I ever seen. But as far as the fight, I feel like Bud could beat him easy.
Moreover, Dana White himself had chimed in with his 2 cents about the entire fight, claiming that this was not just a mere bout between 2 boxers, it was a war for the world to witness. According to Dana, there had been nothing of this sort seen in this generation of boxing, and the way that Terence Crawford was taking the fight personally, with a high determination, had raised the stakes for the bout even more.
You know, this legacy thing is so important to him. He's going to come at Canelo, and you know how Canelo is a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war. And I don't ever try to go out and oversell a fight and then sit there at the end of the press conference going, ooh, you know. I think this fight's going to be a war. I think it's going to be even better than people expect it to be. And if you are even remotely a fringe fight fan, you have to watch this fight. And if you don't already have Netflix, there's something wrong with you anyway. Get Netflix.
And if not, reach out to your ex for the password.
Furthermore, Christian and Billy had claimed prior to the fight that it was nowhere near a 50-50 chance between the fighters, since, according to him, Canelo had the obvious advantage. Christian claimed that you can be an amazing fighter in terms of power, style, and technique, but if you move as many divisions as Crawford did without any break, there were bound to be some mishaps along the way. While Crawford had a slight chance to win, Christian supported Canelo more.
No. I think for me, I think favorite is Canelo. Yeah.
Why? Because a lot of people say because Crawford's so good that the weight maybe won't make a difference.
You know, you can be very good. Crawford is very good. He's a very good boxer. But for me, you cannot be the same like 3 division down and go up like 2-3 division, and you cannot be the same boxer. It's not the same punch, it's not the same intensity, it's not the same body. Maybe I think he have chance to win, but I think Canelo is a favorite.
Chance to win like a boxing match, but like in terms of like knocking him out.
No.
Let us know what you thought about the fight in the comments down below. Did it go exactly as you had predicted? Or were you shocked by the way things played out? Was the hype worth it all? Or did it not live up to its standards? In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep updated on the latest UFC news. See you soon.